to laugh so I don't cry. We just made our first ginormous mistake. Y'all, this is so bad. This is so bad. We have cabinets, or at least we almost have cabinets. By the end of this video, we're gonna have cabinets. If you're new to the series, we are currently turning my old storage loft into my dream library craft room with the help of my dad here in his workshop. I spent the last week truly learning how to woodwork. Y'all, I had no knowledge about woodworking until this past week, and look what I built. I literally built those, obviously with a ton of help from my dad, who is an actual woodworker, but I actually ended up making every single cut, except for one. I screwed in every screw, I did every drill hole, I literally completely put together these cabinets, of course, with dad's supervision. I believe this is already part 3 of this multi-part series, and y'all, we still have a few more videos to make. We have to finish building this workbench, we have to build the craft table for the middle of the room, we have to figure out what kind of bookshelves we're going to be doing on the walls, and then we have to install everything, and then we have to organize all of my craft supplies into all of these amazing drawers and storage that we built. And then after we do all of that, we'll be moving on to the part which secretly I might be the most excited about, which is going to be decorating our dream library craft room. So if you're in for the long haul, if you are here for a journey, I hope that you'll join us as we continue to build my dream library craft room. Now this week in the woodshop, it will not just be me and my dad like last week. This week we have a new friend because last week dad was about to throw away this little wood scrap, this little piece of wood, and I said, Dad, it has potential. We have to keep it. And then this week, whenever I came back to keep working on our cabinets, Dad was like, there's a surprise. Someone's waiting for you in the workshop. And I was like, what? Who? What? Meet our new friend. Look how adorable he is. The little signs say, I have potential. Don't throw me away. Look how cute this is. Our new little friend needs a name so he can keep us company here in the workshop and cheer us on as we continue to build our dream library craft room. So let me know in the comments what his name is. I talked a little bit in the 2 previous weeks' videos about how when we were originally planning on doing this craft room build, I was planning on making this one video. I literally thought I was going to have the planning, the building, the painting, the tabletop making, the bookshelves, the whole installation of everything, and the organizing and the decorating all in the same video. And then I realized, no, that's crazy. That's so many things for one video. And plus, if I just did it all at once and showed y'all and was like, surprise, it's finished, you guys wouldn't be a part of the journey. And I love it when y'all are a part of the journey. So as we've been building everything, these long form videos are about a week delayed from where we are in real time because I also do all of my own editing. And so I can't really like do all the building and all the editing all at once. So sadly, the long form are about a week delayed, but the shorts are in real time. So I have been posting shorts updates every day, every moment that we get an extra thing done on this project, y'all are getting a shorts update. And I'm also able to ask y'all's opinion on things in shorts. And the first thing we are going to be doing today is something that y'all voted on. So when you get wood from the mill or the store or wherever you're getting your wood from, it comes with a very, very sharp right angle, like this side right here, very, very sharp. And now some people really, really like the sharp edge look, and some people don't like the sharp edge look. And if you want to get rid of the sharp edge look, you do something called breaking the edge, where you use this tool to like slide it along the side, and that kind of like shaves off the harsh edge, and then you go in and you like sand it all down. So last week, whenever Dad asked me, do you want the sharp, harsh edges that the wood comes with, or do you want to break the edge and have the softer curved edges? I was like, you know what? I think we have to ask chat about this one. So I asked y'all, and to no one's surprise, almost unanimously, cross-platform, y'all said you also liked the curved edges. That's what I was already leaning towards. I was like 98% sure that I wanted to go with the curved edges, but I don't know, I just wanted to like ask y'all to see if there was anything that I just wasn't thinking about, anything I was missing, but I'm so glad that y'all said you also liked the curved edges. So today, based on y'all's vote, the first thing we're gonna do is break the edges. Now I'm hoping by the end of today I'm going to be better with this tool, because the first time I tried to like curve one of the edges, I was really, really struggling with it. But this time I think it's working a lot better. I'm immediately getting all kinds of curly cues. Look at that. Looks like a really, really good Arby's fry. Well, this is gonna take forever, but I feel like it's really satisfying. Now that I broke the edges a little bit with this little guy, we're gonna switch over to a sanding tool. I really wanted to show y'all this sanding pad that we got because I know a lot of y'all do like furniture refurbishing and things like that and furniture flips. We haven't tried these before and this is not an ad, but they look really cool. So we're gonna test them out together. So basically, whenever you're using this kind of sanding pad, you have to perfectly line up the holes right there because that is what the suction like goes through. And then this thing hooks up to our vacuum. But with this guy, allegedly all of the sawdust as we sand is going to be pulled through all of those little holes rather than just only a couple big holes, and we don't have to line it up perfectly on our sanding tool. And honestly, it just feels like it has like a good exfoliator. So I'm excited to try this and see if I like it better than the other sanding pads. Since I can't get perfectly in the corners inside the drawer with the little tool or the vibrating sander, we're gonna make a little makeshift sanding block with some double-sided tape and a little piece of scrap wood. Hey, look at that. Makeshift sander. Most of our joints are like perfect, but some of them are not. So we need to go in with this plastic wood and basically fill in these joints before we sand it, because if we sanded it first, the sawdust would get in these joints and we would think that they looked perfect until we went to go paint them, and then it would just kind of be a mess while painting. So we are going to go ahead and fill these in with some plastic wood. It smells really weird. I'm about to hit this one with a sander, and if you're a regular here, and if you've seen a lot of my crochet content, you'll know that I have been struggling with nerve damage in my right arm from crochet since like 2022. And so the first cabinet that I sanded, I was like, oof, this does not feel good. So I'm going to be attempting to sand this one with my left hand, and I might be calling in some help from Dad.
We can do it.
So some of you may remember this back wall that we are building our cabinets on. It has some kind of like weird measurements. So the back wall is just a wall. But then over here on this side, it tees up to a window. And over here on this side, it tees up to a closet. Now the problem is from the wall to the closet is 20 inches and from the wall to the window is 17 inches. So that is why our little cabinet workbench area is shaped like this. So it comes out a little bit more in the middle, so you have more storage in those cabinets, and then it goes back to fit the 17 inches and the 20 inches. And so because of that, we are gonna have areas like this where you can see the side of the cabinet. Now the countertop will be at like a 45-degree angle here, kind of how this one is made, so it's gonna look beautiful. But over here, we are gonna have this part showing. So we're gonna wanna paint this the same color as the entire front of the cabinets. So the front of the cabinets are going to be this darkest green, and then all the rest of the drawers and the doors will be a mix of these colors. I'll put an overlay on the screen of what the mock-up looks like right now, but these are the colors, or at least the paint samples of what I think we're using. So this is UV treated wood, so it's like super nice and super smooth, and it feels great, especially for inside of our drawers. It's gonna be just so nice to have. But the problem with this is that paint wouldn't stick to it. It is too slippery and shiny. So we are going to sand this down before we're able to paint it. Y'all, we sanded and we sanded and we sanded and we finally have rounded edges, and I'm so excited. And I did start to sand with my left hand and it didn't hurt at all, so I was able to do all of the sanding. I don't even know if you can tell on camera. Can you guys tell? Can you guys tell that that's rounded? They're so smooth. It's gonna paint so well. I'm so excited. And I also decided to be extra ridiculous and keep all of the wood shavings that I wanted to keep, because as our friend says,
don't throw me away. I have potential. It's finally time to cut the door fronts and the drawer fronts, basically all of the fronts, and it's gonna look so much closer to being finished.
I will be hearting every comment that can correctly tell us what we previously used this board for. So Let me know in the comments if you recognize this from a past video. Now we can round out all of our drawers and make them look all nice and finished on the edges. I'm so excited. We are finally about to put on the first drawer front. I'm so excited. We just sanded down the front of this one since it was made with like the UV plywood, and that is all shiny like we dealt with in last week's video, so glue won't really like stick to it, and we need to like glue these on as well as screwing these on. So we made our drawer fronts thinking they were going to be a 1/2 inch over on each side. So see how this is like about a 1/2 inch on each side bigger than the actual drawer. I'm going to go in with these little guys, which honestly, these have been so amazing throughout this build because they have all the measurements on it. I think of it like measuring cups, but you know, tools. And all I have to do whenever I know I need a 1/2 inch is like lay this here and make a little mark. And I'm gonna do that in multiple places on each side. This is gonna help me figure out where to lay the top.
Looks like a cabinet.
Woo! That's nice. Soft close. Look at that.
How about that?
This is so crazy. We have our first drawer front. And we have our first door front. This is amazing.
I have a silly little success to share. When I was putting up my hair, I tried to remember exactly where my big mask fell on my head, and I successfully placed my bun. I successfully placed it to where the mask goes perfectly around the bun. This is so hilarious. I love it. All right, time to do some cabinet doors.
This is such a crazy moment because I'm actually screwing on the very, very last door front. Door front? Drawer front. We already have all of the door fronts on, but this is our very last drawer front. Y'all, I haven't been filming as much today because we have just been flying through this because this is the very last thing that we have to do for our cabinets rather than doing like the paint and the top and all of that. But that's all probably going to be in the next video. But I think the next thing we're going to start doing tomorrow is actually building our center craft table. So crazy. Don't get me wrong, I have been so excited doing the back cabinets, but y'all, we are finally starting on the middle section, the craft table, and it's gonna be so cool. We're at Menards right now, getting more wood, and we are ready to build it. I thought that planning the cabinets was hard, but y'all, I think planning this tiny little center craft table might actually be more difficult. There's a lot fewer moving parts with our center craft table, but I think the thing is, with our cabinets, we were just kind of like freehanding it. We were just like making it up as we go. But with our crafting desk, we had seen a lot of pictures on Pinterest showing different types of crafting desks. So we had like a place to start. We had some things that we were looking at, things we knew we liked, things we knew we wanted, and we had to figure out how to make this a reality, but within our measurements. So after a lot of planning and about $300 more worth of wood, I think we're ready. I think we're really ready to tackle our center island craft table. So let me show you the plan, and just know that this is not exactly drawn to scale. This is it. This is the plan. So basically, this is going to be like a craft desk. And that's kind of confusing to start because most craft tables are like 36 inches tall. They're more like tall workbenches, but desks are like 28 to 30 inches tall. And I was looking at sewing desks specifically, and those are like 29 to 32 inches tall. So we decided to go with like a 32 inch tall table for the center of the room that will go in front of our yarn wall and in front of our cabinets. And this is hopefully kind of maybe what it's going to look like. And if you've seen from the previous videos, I have a lot a lot of stuff that I need to store in this one tiny craft room. So we are of course building this with even more storage. Most of the desks like this on Pinterest had 3 cubbies on each side, but most of the tables on Pinterest were like 37 inches tall, and so they could fit more cubbies tall. Ours being only like 30 inches to 32 inches tall only can fit about 2 cubbies. So the plan is to have 2 cubbies, 2 cubbies, 2 cubbies on the backside, 2 cubbies on the backside over there, and then in between the 2 sets of cubbies, this little part right here, those are going to be 2 bookshelves, and I think I might actually use them for books. I think they would look really cool and aesthetic if boom, 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 we have like books in between the crafting stuff. And then also we're gonna have these like 2 blank, just like panels of wood that'll be painted. We have to figure out what we want to paint on those, because I'm kind of thinking we might do like a flowery design or something like that, but I don't know yet. In just a few minutes, you guys are going to see like what this looks like, hopefully put together by the end of this video, and you can let me know how we should paint these, because we're going to be building all this in this video, but painting all of this should be in next week's video. Speaking of painting, y'all, I got the paint. I got all the paint. We are doing 5 different colors. Oh my gosh, I did not know paint was so expensive. Y'all, between the paints, which we did get as cabinet paints, but we got like the small one. We didn't even get like the full gallon. We got like the pint of paint. We did get a full gallon of primer, and then we got a couple little rollers. It was like over $200. I'm gonna try my best to keep like a tally of all of the cost like we talked about in the past videos, and at the end really tell y'all what I spent on the entire project, because a lot of people have been asking. But cabinet paint is expensive, but it's supposed to be really durable, so let's hope it's durable. So I don't yet know what color we are going to be painting this. It will be some form of the purples and greens, but I'm just not exactly sure yet. But all of the face frames on this desk will be painted, and the side panels will be painted. The top will be the epoxy black sparkly, the same thing that we're putting on our cabinets. And that's all I know. That's all I really know. Well, y'all, I guess I should stop talking and I should start actually putting all of this together. We think we have it all figured out. We got all of our boards cut, and this is crazy. We're not even actually holding it together with like screws or nails or like anything you would normally think of using while building. We're actually gonna be drilling peg holes into this. We use this crazy tool, and it actually like lines it up so all of our peg holes will be equal distance from each other, because if they're not the same distance on the 2 different boards, then the pegs won't be able to go into both holes. And then we're just gonna fill each hole with some glue and these pegs that we used in our last video, and put it together basically like big ol' Legos, and hope that it all stays together. Okay, let's do it. I forgot to tell y'all about the coolest part that may or, may not work. So we were worried about the desk being like only supported here and basically falling over like that. So we knew we needed a support for the middle of this. So we think we're gonna build this basically like box that goes in here, and hopefully it's gonna hold everything up, but the box will also have a lid on it, so it'll be like storage. And then also the box will be covered in like carpet. I'm thinking like a green shag carpet to kind of look like moss or grass, and then I can sit my feet on it under the table, or Tilly can use it. Tilly can literally like lay under the desk while I'm working at the desk. I'm so excited. We were nervous for a second, y'all, that we didn't have enough of these little pegs. Our little Legos almost failed us, but they did not fail us. So we just drilled 100 of these little holes. I know I didn't show that many in the video because we never show as much as we're actually doing in the videos. But we just drilled a lot of peg holes. And now it is time for the pegs and the glue. Drop it. Didn't break everything. We are finally all clamped in place, which means we officially have 1/2 of our base. And what do we have to do after we have 1/2 done?
Build another one.
Build another one. Except, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, we're kind of keeping a little secret right now. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Behind door number 1. Help. We already had the first one done, and look how good it all looks. Obviously, there's still so much more we have to do. We have to add the cubbies. We have to add the bookshelf that goes all the way across in the middle. But we really wanted to build the base of both of these before continuing because, you know, we wanted to make sure it was all gonna work out. And speaking of wanting to make sure that it was all going to work out, that's why we didn't film the first one, because y'all, we really didn't know what we were doing. And it actually turned out so good. And I'm just seriously so excited to see the rest of it come together. If you saw the planning video from a few weeks ago, you might have remembered me saying that this center table was going to be on wheels. So now we gotta add the wheel. These wheels also like lock down. You can go like that. It's easier with your foot and it completely locks it from like swiveling and from rolling. Honestly, I don't know if we're gonna have to use the wheel locks because this table is gonna be really, really heavy. Like kind of worried about how heavy this table's gonna be. And it's gonna be full of stuff, so it'll be even heavier. And it's gonna be on carpet, so we might not need to use the wheel locks, but we're gonna figure that out in, you know, a week or two. For now, I am just going to be putting these wheels right on these little blocks that we've put on here. I have to laugh so I don't cry. We just made our first ginormous mistake. Y'all, this is so bad. This is so bad. Okay, so we were supposed to use these 12.5-inch boards to do the top and the bottom. But when we cut them, we cut 2 at 12.5 for the top and the bottom. And we cut 2 at 11.5 that were supposed to be the shelves for this one and for the other side. We used the wrong boards! We made the entire thing with the wrong boards! What do we do? Literally, what do we do now? We drilled those 100 drill holes in the pegs. Oh my god, we don't even have enough pegs. We have 5 pegs left. We have to go to the store to get more pegs. Oh my god, the dowel pegs. Do we even have enough MDF? We don't even have enough MDF to redo it if we have to throw this whole thing out.
Maybe not.
Well, can one side just be smaller than the other side?
I mean, it can be, but I don't like it. I don't like it the way we messed up that bad.
Oh my god, we completely used the wrong boards.
Well, tell them what happened.
Because we were tired.
We were tired.
Because we did about 12 hours yesterday. Okay, let's set them side by side and let's see how truly horrendous it would be if they were just an inch apart. And you know what? We're the only people who's ever gonna know, right? It's just us. It's just us here. We're all friends here, right? You guys aren't gonna judge us too much if we end up leaving this. All right, let's set them side by side.
You need this for your garage?
I mean, it could be for the garage. Like a little rolly cart. Dad noticed because it was wobblier than the other one. Okay, so the bookcase part is going to be on the outside. How drastically different do they look? I don't know. The verdict's in. We're doing it all again. The wheels that we just put on, we're taking them all off. And we don't want to have to recut these little things that you put the wheels on, so we're also trying to chip these off, but we put them on with super glue. Activated super glue so it dries instantly. Dad, what did you say a second ago?
There's never enough time to do it right the first time, but there's always enough time to redo it.
So now, we redo everything. Montage! We did it!
Third time is the charm.
Third time is the charm. Even when you only needed to do it twice, sometimes you just have to do it a third time. You know, I jinxed us by being all silly with it yesterday and being like, oh, we just have to do it again. Just kidding. We already made the other one. We actually did have to do it again. Everything we just did. And now we're down to the last step, which is just doing the gluing. We just have to glue in 50 more of these pegs into 100 holes that we just drilled. You know, I was talking to Josh on the phone, And I was like feeling discouraged earlier. I might have had a slight little breakdown, crying on the floor, freaking out about doing it all over again. But it all ended up being great. But I was talking to Josh after my slight little bout of sadness, and I was like, we're just gonna end tonight being exactly where we were last night. And he goes, no, you're not. He goes, well, last night it wasn't done correctly, and tonight it'll be done correctly. We really could have kept it with the 1.5 inches shorter, but I'm really glad that we're redoing it.
Oh, yeah, we did.
And nothing's going to waste, right?
We're going to make something out of it.
We're going to make something out of it. We think we can make 2 little cabinets out of it.
Yep, so we can always remember to measure twice.
Yes, it'll be our forever reminder. We'll have one of the cabinets for my craft room and one for Dad's workshop, and it'll be great. We'll never forget.
That's right.
Y'all, we officially did it. We officially rebuilt basically what we built last night, except for this time we used the correct top and the correct bottom. We used the top and bottom instead of accidentally using the shelves as the top and the bottom. So we cut all of these at the same time. We cut the top and bottom, which were 12.5 inches, and we cut the shelves that are going to go in the middle here, which were like 11.25. We just grabbed the wrong 2 yesterday, y'all. We grabbed the wrong 2, and I was about to say, I don't know how we did it. How did we make this huge mistake? I know exactly how we made this huge mistake, y'all. And I wanted to take a second here to pause and talk about why we made this mistake. We made the mistake because we were pushing ourselves a little too hard. And I wanted to take this moment to just talk about something we talk about kind of often, which is just listening to your body, listening to your mind, knowing when you need rest. A lot of y'all know that I have been struggling with nerve damage for the last 3 years from crocheting way too much. And it basically made me take an entire year off of crochet. By doctor's orders, I could only crochet for 5 to 10 minutes a day for like an entire year. And it was horrible. And I got there by not listening to my body. Well, yesterday, while we were woodworking, to be fair, we were fired up and excited. We didn't realize just quite how tired we were. But we ended up woodworking for about 12 hours yesterday. And in our haste, even though, we didn't maybe in those moments feel super tired, we were tired. We were not double checking everything. And because of that, we did have to spend today not necessarily moving forward in the project, and it cost us about an extra $100 today at Menards again. Even though I'm not exactly glad that we made this $100 and 1 day of time mistake, it was a good reminder that it's okay to just take our time and go at the pace that we need to go. I think that I've been feeling guilty for taking so much time away from our normal content. Like, I know that all of this is still content, all of this is still videos. You guys have been so supportive in the comments, coming along with us on this journey, and I'm having so much fun doing this entire build with my dad. But I feel guilty. I feel guilty that I'm not putting out more of my normal content while we're doing all of this. And so I think I started to rush a little bit. And today was just a really, really good reminder that things take as long as they take. I think initially I wanted to do all of this in one video, which we know now is absolutely ridiculous. And then I was like, okay, well, I can have a planning video, a building video, an installation video, and a decorating video. Well, this is already video number 2 of the build, and we're definitely not getting everything done in this video. And that's okay. Things are going to take as long as they're going to take. Speaking of this video, y'all who are regulars here know that our new videos come out every single Monday. Y'all, it's already Friday. It is Friday going into Saturday right now, and I edit all of my own videos, and so I still have to edit this entire video this weekend. So sadly, we are not going to get this center table completely built in this video, but our goal is tomorrow morning to at least get the wheels put on the second half and at least get a top put on the top. So at the end of this video, y'all can really see how this is going to look. I am seriously so excited for this build. I think this craft desk is going to just be like superb. It's gonna be so cool. We're putting in the shelves. We have a crafting desk, or I mean, at least kind of. We have the base of a crafting desk. If you were here 2 videos ago, you know that this is called a carcass. We have the carcass of the crafting desk. I will never get over calling the base of like cabinets and desks carcasses. I think that is so funny and so weird. But y'all, I'm so excited. What a journey. What a journey this was. Doing the first one perfectly, the second one completely incorrectly, having to spend an extra $100 and an extra entire day redoing it and fixing it. But I'm so glad that we did, because as Dad said yesterday, he goes, well, he's like, however we do it, it's going to be that way forever. So I'm really glad that we took the extra day to make it correct, especially now seeing over here the like bookshelves in the sides, seeing the cubbies. I mean, I'm so glad that we have that extra 1.5 inches. I know it's only 1.5 inches, but that's a lot less storage whenever you spread it out over 4 cubbies and 2 bookshelves. I know we're at a weird angle right now, but I can kind of move this and show you guys how it's actually going to be set up in the craft room. Okay, so picture it like this. Here we go. The table will be there. Our cabinet workbench will be behind us. Picture our yarn wall being right here, which, oh my gosh, you guys, we actually bought the pegboard yesterday for the yarn wall, and I'm so excited. It's feeling more and more and more real. I feel like we're usually gonna be filming from a different angle. Let me show you how I think we're gonna film. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. This is like how it's gonna be. We're gonna be making things on our craft desk. We're gonna be able to just reach back and open our drawers and get out our like organizational stuff. Oh, we're making bracelets today. Let's pull out our charm organizers and go through our charms. Like, this is so cool. Oh, we're gonna sew today. Okay, let's open this up and let's pull out the sewing machine or the Cricut or the knitting machine. Remember, if you didn't see our last video in this series, the knitting machine actually has its own shelf. We literally made this cabinet exact to size for the knitting machine. Right over here to our left, Tilly is gonna have her little hidey hole. We still have to make all of the fronts for Tilly's hiding hole. If you did not see this last video, basically that down there is going to be a cubby, and then the one above it is going to be a hidey hole for our cat Tilly. There's going to be like a circular hole in the front, and this lines directly up with her little window seat, so she can crawl from her window seat right into her little hidey hole. And my dad had the best idea ever of literally making the fronts for her hidey hole magnetic, so they can come on and off, for one, just so we can clean it, 2, for like safety, because you never want to have like a little hidey hole that your cats get into where you can't access them. You need to make sure you can always open up whatever they're in and get them out in case of an emergency, a fire, a tornado, whatever it might be. And lastly, the reason that it's going to be magnetic on and off is because we're actually going to make like 5 or 10 different door fronts, and we're going to decorate them for different seasons, different holidays, different vibes. I am so excited to make the fronts of Tilly's little hidey hole. That's probably going to be a project that we do over the next year. Every season, we're probably going to be painting a different one of Tilly's hidey hole covers. We were hoping we were also going to get the bar put in between these 2 sides of the desk. Now, if you remember from earlier, the bar that goes across the bottom is going to be 3 different things. 1, it's actually going to be storage, so the top will come off and we can store things in it. 2, it's going to be a footrest for me to be able to like put my feet up under the desk. And 3, it's going to be covered with carpet and really soft and fuzzy, so it can actually also be a bed for Tilly to take a nap under the desk. Another thing that I think we're going to do that we're still working on the plans for, I think we're going to have a desk drawer that goes right in here. But if you know me, you know that I love sitting with my legs in all weird ways, and I really don't want to give up any of my knee space right here under the desk. So my dad had this idea to make a drawer that slides all the way across underneath this desk, because the desk is open on both sides. So the drawer is going to be able to slide all the way through both ways. So it's literally going to be the entire width of this opening, but only about 12 inches deep. So if I need something from that drawer, I can pull it out and have it over here, or I can push it all the way underneath the desk, and it basically hides right here in the center of the desk, but underneath it. And then if Josh is on the other side, or if a friend is over crafting with me and they need something, they grab it from that side and pull it over. This is so cool. It's gonna be like a completely hidden drawer. And I'm really excited we're making this drawer also, because I ended up with 2 extra like drawer pulls that we weren't going to be using, and I can use them on this drawer. Have I shown you guys all of our drawer pulls in this video? I don't think I have. Y'all, I had so much fun picking out all of these drawer pulls. Let me show them to you. Okay, so for starters, just glancing at these, can you see 2 that just look kind of different than the rest? If you said these guys, you would be correct. These are just such like an orange gold compared to everything else being like a yellow brassy gold. So these 2 I decided I did not want to use on the back cabinet, because I originally got these for our mega drawer, as we've been calling it, and y'all, they're just too orange. They're too orangey looking. So we are actually going to be using these underneath of our desk in our hidden drawer. So there will be like 1 drawer pull on each side, and they're still the vibe of the office, even though you really won't see them a ton. We have 6 beautiful butterflies for our butterfly drawers. These guys are our butterfly drawers, and we're going to be painting them a variant of green. So the bottom one will be the darkest green, and the darkest green is also the color that the entire base of the cabinet's going to be, all the face frames and the sides. And middle drawer that medium green and then the top drawer that lightest green. And I want the butterflies to look like they're flying into the sky. So every drawer is going to have 2 butterflies on them, but instead of being perfectly spaced like this, we're going to have them slightly offset so it actually looks like they are flying into the sky. I originally got these beautiful flower branch drawer pulls for this part of the cabinet down here, our big open doors. But honestly, these doors are really, really easy to open. They don't need all of this. They can use a much smaller doorknob. So I'm actually going to be using these 2 on the mega drawer here and over here. And our mega drawer is going to be painted this dark purple. Look how beautiful that looks together. That purple and that gold. Like literally, it's gonna be gorgeous. So obviously then I needed to figure out what we were going to do down here for these doorknobs. So these bottom 2 drawers are going to be painted this light purple, which I absolutely love. And I was thinking about how these 2 doors are kind of like the center at the back of this room, you know, almost like a little focal point. And I know you won't really be able to see them super up close in our videos, and you won't really be able to see the doorknobs super up close, but I know that they're there and you guys know that they're there. And I was thinking about like, what are the core things for us? What are things that we just love so much? And I feel like if you ask somebody, what does Holly love? You know, they're probably gonna say moss, they're probably gonna say yarn and sunflowers. But 2 of the things that I think people would most associate with me are mushies and cats. So I think it's perfect to have our 2 doorknobs back here on these big open doors, mushrooms and cats. I think that brings us down to just our trash can cabinet over here. And if you've seen the last few videos where we talked about our trash can cabinet, you already know that the door pull for the trash can cabinet is a raccoon, because raccoons love trash. And I also just think raccoons are seriously some of the most adorable animals ever. So I thought that a little raccoon door pull is perfect for the trash can cabinet. And lastly, for the drawer that is going to be right above the trash can, we have a little snail drawer pull. I think it's gonna be perfect. I'm really not sure what color we're painting these 2 yet. I think they are going to be the lighter green and the darker green. Maybe the darker green on top, lighter green on bottom to kind of match the vibe of the dark purple and the light purple. I think that feels right, but I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm so excited to paint. And speaking of painting, I'm so excited. As you can tell, I already have my paint clothes on. This is my painting t-shirt, and I've decided to make these my painting overalls because y'all, we're starting to paint today, and I'm so sorry. That's actually going to be in next week's video. So for me, it's gonna be today. I get to start painting. To be fair, it's only priming, so it's not quite as exciting as the colors yet, but we get to start priming our back cabinets today, and then we get to paint them over the next few days. I'm so excited. This is probably the part that I'm like, I was about to say this is the part I'm most excited about, but honestly, I'm probably most excited about like installing them and starting to decorate and organize and do all of that kind of stuff. But painting, I feel like, is a close second, because I feel like painting is going to be just that moment of like really, really, really seeing the vision come together. I mean, obviously we're already seeing the vision come together, but I'm a little bit nervous about all of the colors. I think it's going to be gorgeous. I can see it in my head, and I think it's going to be super cute. Let's hope that it all comes to life as cute as it is in my head. Well, y'all, I think that wraps up another week of building my dream library craft room. Thank you again for coming on this amazing journey with us, y'all. I have been having so much fun doing these builds with my dad. My dad is a woodworker and I am a crafter. I am not a woodworker, but my dad even has never built cabinets before. So this whole thing is a new journey to both of us. And honestly, y'all, I'm really proud. I'm really proud of myself for everything that I've learned. I'm proud of how much of this work I've done, basically all of it. Like my dad is like helping me learn how to use the tools and kind of telling me what to do. But then I've been making like 99.9% of all of the cuts and doing the drilling and screwing in the screws and all of the things. And I'm really, really glad. We talked about this in our last episode of this series, but I really didn't know going into it just how much of the actual work I was going to be doing. I didn't know how much I was actually going to be learning. Like my dad always teaches me stuff whenever we make things together, but I feel like in the past it's been more just like, you know, okay, now cut this here, or okay, hold this board there, or make this measurement. But it's not me truly like learning how to do it and learning how to use the table saw, learning how to use the track saw, learning how to use the miter saw, even knowing what all these different saws are called. It has been a really, really, really amazing, just completely unparalleled journey. And I'm really, really thankful for my dad for doing this with me. So anyways, thank y'all again for coming on this journey with us of building my dream library craft room. In next week's video, we are going to be officially, finally painting the entire back set of cabinets. And then the plan, I say plan because a lot of the times the plans change. The plan is to actually take these cabinets back to my house this week. So in next week's video, y'all are hopefully going to see these cabinets being installed in the house. But here's the catch. The catch is they won't have a top yet. So we are going to be building a custom countertop and covering it with epoxy resin. It's going to be black and sparkly and look like the night sky full of stars. It's going to be gorgeous. But the thing about doing a custom countertop is, yes, you can take the measurements, but even just with measurements, you don't know like exactly how every single part of the wall is shaped. So our goal is to take these to my house, completely install them, and then we're actually going to be making like a template and then bringing that template back to my dad's workshop and using the template to make our countertop exact. Make it completely custom, completely built in. I feel like there's gonna be some learning curves in making this countertop. My dad has done a lot of countertop stuff before, but neither of us have done the epoxy resin. None of us have done something quite like this. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna learn a lot and it's gonna be a journey. But our epoxy countertop probably won't be for another 2 weeks. And next week, count on seeing these cabinets painted and installed in my house. I can't wait. If you're new here, welcome to the Sunflower family. My name is Hollyana and we do new videos every single Monday. A lot of times they are crochet, DIY, thrifting, crafting, Renaissance festivals, cat videos. And for at least the next few weeks, we are going to be finishing building my dream library craft room. Hope to see you in the next one.